Hello and welcome to Utterly Geek.
Where Darren breaks his neck, and then we just continue on the show without him.
I will just break my fucking neck and we will go.
Show must go on, goddammit.
I no longer have a neck, but my name is Darren Bell. I'm joined, as always, by Chris Walczyk and Steven Petrella. And we're here to talk video games and video game news, your weekly news podcast. This is Utterly Geek.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into it. This week has actually been pretty rife with rumors and news. Starting off with the former head of Crystal Dynamics has now joined Microsoft Studios' executive leadership team. They announced this on Twitter. This is Daryl Gallagher. The more news will come at E3, but great. Crystal Dynamics is a good company. Microsoft needs games like what Crystal Dynamics makes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it was kind of leading up to that, considering Tomb Raider was always like a timed exclusive, and then eventually came out. Like it did it for both games. Like,
I thought the second one was like a lot longer though. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider was practically a goddamn year before it came out on other things.
Yeah,
because it was like Xbox first, and then PS4 later in the year, and then PC like the next year, or something like that, something along those lines. But
I thought the PS4 and the PC. Well, no, you're right. The PC was a couple months later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they wanted to optimize it and then also include like all of their fucking DX12 shit, because that was like brand new when it came out, so they wanted to have that be the big game that utilized DX12.
Right. So then what do you think they end up bringing to Xbox as an exclusive? I mean, this is Crystal Dynamics. I don't see Tomb Raider suddenly becoming an exclusive.
No way. It's already come out for other systems. I think there's enough of a general interest in it that I don't see it being... They would actually shoot themselves in the fucking foot if they actually just made Tomb Raider an exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. Everyone's getting all nuts for Spyro remake, Crash Bandicoot remake. How about Gex remakes? All the Gex games.
I would fucking play those because I played the second one and it was really fucking good.
Get Dana Snyder back on. I mean, he's not doing anything but like all the voice acting.
Although all those references and everything in those Gex games are so outdated. Outdated.
I want them to make a new Gex game, but make him like deal with the modern world, but be completely out of it.
So almost
not get it.
So almost like if we were to make a Duke Nukem that was self-referential about himself being too outdated himself, with everything else going on in the world.
But Duke Nukem wouldn't have the type of self-reflection. He wouldn't be capable of that kind of mindset. But I feel like Gex would.
A lizard brain would be more capable than Duke Nukem.
Yes. And at the end, it kind of turns into what was that military shooter that actually had that huge plot twist at the end. Anyway, Gex ends up killing
Spec Ops:
himself.
The Line.
Yeah, it turns into Spec Ops, and you have a choice at the end to either kill yourself or just go and deal with your shit. I would play that Gex.
I think they're gonna release a game akin to Horizon. That would be my best bet, is that they release, just because Nintendo has Zelda, PS4 has Horizon,
and now God of
and
War.
they're gonna want God of War, so they're gonna want to release a nice, cool open world that's different from the other ones. That's 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours of gameplay. And that's a good company to do it, because Tomb Raider is hinging on the lines of that kind of style of gameplay.
Yeah.
It is on the fringe of that style.
Well,
so I could see them kind of going that way.
I would say that God of War is very much taken some things from Tomb Raider, where Tomb Raider is kind of like a pseudo open world. Like, it's got linear moments, but it's pretty there's certain sections of the game where it has an open world hub area that you can go and explore, but once you get to like a certain area, it's like pretty linear as to like where you gotta go until you get to a certain point where it just throws you back into the hub, and it's like, okay, now you can go back to exploring or doing whatever. Like God of War has that same functionality with the world.
But it's not that much of a stretch to take that groundwork they already have and just make it a bit more open without the narrow bits.
Yeah.
Which I could totally see them doing that, is whipping up something completely new and different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, here's our big exclusive from our new partnership with the guy who used to be Crystal Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Crystal Dynamics still exists as its own sovereign entity. This is just a guy from Crystal Dynamics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and kind of along with that, I think it was the same day they tweeted out Microsoft's press conference is going to be June 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That would be 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I believe June 10th is a Sunday.
God, that's coming up fast.
Yeah.
Yup. Coming. It's coming. E3.
Jesus Christ.
Before you know it.
And I'm just like, this is fucking... God, just playing all the shit that was announced 2 years ago at E3.
well, that's the thing. This opening year, the opening of this year has been kind of quiet. You've had your Monster Hunter, and then you've had a smattering of really great indie games, and now the next big thing is God of War.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a kind of a quiet year, especially compared to last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, over the course of the year, though, like, it's all the 3 big Sony titles that are coming out. Because there's God of War that just came out, then there's Detroit, which is going to be, like, spring, summertime, and then fall is going to be Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all 3 of those were highlighted 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
Right. Well, that is how E3 works, Wally. Yeah. You see, they announce the games. Then eventually they will come out, and then you will play them.
What I'm saying is that I'm getting to the point of being excited to play these games, and now it's going to be like a whole fucking new announcement. I'm just going to be like, oh, Christ, okay. Now I got to wait another 2 more years until I can play all these games in 1 year, and then wait another year and a half until the next one.
Yeah. What I would actually really like to see, because they are putting Spider-Man out now, I would love to see them get out there and announce another Sunset Overdrive for Xbox. I think that would be a good thing for them.
I don't think
for Microsoft.
I don't think they were working on both at the same time. There's no way.
That doesn't mean that they would be. Microsoft could hand that off to a different team. I believe. I don't know who owns that IP, but I could see them throwing enough money at that company to be like, make a second team, make us a game too.
I guess.
And well, it's really the only new IP this generation that I would like to see Microsoft continue with.
I haven't,
other than Killer Instinct.
I didn't play far enough into Sunset Overdrive to be like, yeah, this game totally deserves a sequel. Like, if it happens, cool. Like, I think
it does.
Like, okay,
it does. They could make that game. It was fun, but there were improvements that could be made.
Mm-hmm.
To make that overall a much better game.
Yeah, I really like that game, but I think it was pretty, like, as a success. Like, I don't think it made a ton of money.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they want to go for that world again and make a stab at it. I don't know. Like, I think it would be worth it for me to play it because I like that. I really like that game a lot, but like, I just don't know if it's worth it for Microsoft to go for that title.
Well, right now they just need games. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we'll be at E3, especially the Xbox Battle Royale games is what we'll be.
Yeah.
That's going to be at every single fucking conference.
Well, yeah, the big rumor that just came out last week is that the next Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, is not actually going to have a solo campaign, but will have a Battle Royale mode.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, is that what they're gonna hold up? Is two temp poles? Here's the traditional Call of Duty multiplayer, and here's the other part of this game, the Battle Royale mode. Give us $60. And do they eventually release a single player thing later? Because if they do that and they let me buy the single player separate, because I'm that weird guy that only cares about these games for a single player perspective.
Right.
They let me buy that standalone later. I think it's a good experiment for them to do, because if they do that and then later release the single player for $20 and find no one buys it, I will never have to care about Call of Duty in any capacity. I will care even less about it than I do now.
I don't think they'll sell anything less than $60.
No,
because
that retail product will be $60.
Yeah. Unless the only way I see it that they will say, oh, this is worth a $60 title is because it'll have Battle Royale as a mode, and then it'll have the standard multiplayer shit that they do all the fucking time, and then maybe zombies or whatever, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Those will be the 3 modes, and they'll be like, oh, these are worth fucking $20 a piece. All right, $60. Here you go.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're working on the single player, but they don't really care to get it out in time.
Which is such a shame, because the Black Ops campaign is actually like one of the best like COD campaigns in recent history.
Again, this is only a rumor.
Right.
But I would be really curious to see them do that, to release a single player later as a $20 add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Or a standalone add-on even. But I don't see them doing that as a standalone.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll come E3.
Yeah, they'll announce it then for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be we'll hear it first on Xbox, and then we'll hear it again on PlayStation, and then.
No, they've actually had a PlayStation deal this whole generation. Call of Duty has.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. This gen they switched.
Okay.
So.
Probably because they must have saw the Sony sales. And
Sony threw money at them and said, "Do this," and they said, "Okay."
Yeah, that too.
We like money. Speaking of liking money and proof that Valve is back making games. Well, I don't know if it really counts.
That
Campo
segue
Santo,
though.
Yeah, it's perfect. Campo Santo has been acquired by Valve, which now makes In the Valley of the Gods, Campo Santo's next game, a Valve game.
Wait. I guess?
Yes, because they are now Valve. Campo Santo is acquired by Valve, much like Turtle Rock was when they were developing Left 4 Dead, so Left 4 Dead became a Valve game. Campo Santo is now Valve.
Okay.
Which, if you wanted a talented writing team, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more qualified team. Right. Firewatch was fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. This game. Okay. I needed a refresher as to what the hell it was.
In the Valley of the Gods?
Yes, by title.
Yeah, they announced that a couple years back, but it's not due out until, I think, next year even.
Years? I think it was last E3, wasn't it? Or something?
It was either E3 or the Game Awards.
The Game Awards. Yeah, it was definitely the Game Awards. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's great. It actually shows Valve does want to make games again.
That's how they do it, right? So they have some other studio starts making a game, and then Valve goes, "Shit, let's acquire them," and then they acquire them, and they're like, we're totally making games, guys.
Here's our game.
Yeah, we totally did it. We totally made it. We totally made it from the fucking beginning. All of you are liars.
Happened with Counter-Strike. Happened with Team Fortress. Happened with Left 4 Dead.
Oh God.
Yeah. But no. To me, that actually signals we are serious about it. We do want to be a studio that makes and publishes games again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's an interesting choice, too, because that is they're like big time indie developer, and it's like the games that you are saying, these guys are making games that are way different from those games.
Yeah.
Like those other games are in a similar vein of like multiplayer, and then this one is like this little indie team of good writers, who are making story driven games and stuff. So it's an interesting choice, and maybe, who knows? I mean, maybe they're looking at them from the writing perspective and saying maybe we can use these people on other projects that we're working on.
Oh shit, yeah, because there's plenty of writers that are leaving.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly my thought. Yeah,
that's the thing, so they need to get these extra guys, but who knows? I mean, that's just, they, like Darren said, it could just be them saying, hey, we need to release some fucking games, so let's just buy a company that's going to release a solid title.
Listen, listen, we haven't made a game in a long time. We just need you to show us how to do it again.
Yeah.
Well, also, Campo Santo has been real big into VR. Firewatch is in VR. And so they're actually well-developed VR developers. So that goes hand in hand with Valve's current strategy, too, with promoting the Vive. That's the one that's theirs. So I think it's a good I think it's a good partnership. Hopefully, I'm hopeful about it. Hey, if we can get,
I just think that's funny. Just that I feel like that's the line of thought. It's just like, shit, we need to make games. I don't know, acquire some company that we could totally afford.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's the main reason why they bought them.
Yeah. Let's see here. In Minecraft, there was a rash of issues going around where people's hard drives were getting formatted by playing Minecraft. This has been patched out and fixed, but what it was is actually players on PC can insert their own custom skins into Minecraft. But what it ended up doing, how the system actually worked, it was an online repository in which you could pull down a PNG, specifically a PNG file, which would be the skin for whatever you're trying to reskin. A PNG file contains a lot of excess extra data, image identifiers, different metadata, things like that. And people with malicious intent found a way to use that metadata to infect people using PNG files as Minecraft skins. So their fix was, now every time you go to upload a skin to our site, we will strip out all that metadata and give you only a clean PNG. We're done. We fixed it.
Yeah.
This is just, in my mind, this is one of the more recent, actually the most recent version of a large-scale attack through a game. And fucking Minecraft. Like,
hey, a lot of people are playing Minecraft still, so.
Yeah, that's one of those games that will never die.
Oh no way. It's now a educational tool. No fucking way it'll go away now.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, but like.
So was Second Life though.
But Second Life has weirdos.
Oh, and there aren't weirdos on Minecraft who want to perfectly recreate any item in any fandom down to the exact dimensions.
Right, but I think with more of Minecraft, it's simpler to run.
Have you seen those skins?
No, but I feel like with Minecraft, it's easier to host like a server to have people go on and then do whatever the hell they want with it.
Right.
Some people create some fucking amazing art through Minecraft, and it's pretty fucking cool.
They made fucking structures and like 1-to-1 scale of starships, building cities. Like, it's fucking nuts.
What's really fascinating, I was reading an article recently where they were analyzing the height of people and how tall they build things in Minecraft. They found taller people tend to make things that are 2 blocks tall, whereas shorter people make things that are 3 blocks tall, because it's all about your own perspective and your own personal relationship to the ceiling. So for a taller person, making 2 blocks and having the ceiling right close to your head is normal. But for a short person, the ceiling is further away. So they make all the rooms 3 blocks tall. It's an interesting psychological thing as analyzed in Minecraft. Fascinating things. Minecraft, I only ever make like coffin rooms and like I'm just gonna grow a bunch of bamboo and build a library and
books.
Books. Yeah, I never got much into it. In further evidence that Konami is a dead company, they have ended their partnership with the UEFA. The UEFA is the European. It's a soccer federation for European teams.
Yes.
And because of their partnership with the UEFA is how they were able to make officially licensed teams in their major soccer franchise, PES, which used to be Winning 11, which is the only thing the Fox engine was used for outside of Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Survive, which is a fucking travesty. But them ending this partnership basically kills the Konami. There's nothing.
Good.
There's nothing.
Bye. Bye.
Listen, we've got to put together a Kickstarter to give Kojima the rights to Metal Gear, so that he will have them. He will own the rights and do nothing with them. But we can all rest easy knowing that Snake has finally come home.
Is it if Konami dies, like if they just go bankrupt and then they're no longer a company? Does that just mean the rights are up for?
They would liquidate it, and they would try to liquidate as much as they can, which means they would go to auction with that stuff.
They'd fucking buy it right then and there, like.
But I don't know if he would want to deal with them.
Oh yeah, probably not. No, hell no.
He'd be like, fuck you, sell it to Microsoft.
No, I wanted to be done like fucking at MGS2, basically.
Yeah. Every Metal Gear is the last Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Until it's actually the last Metal Gear. Let's see here. Hearthstone has lost their lead. Ben Brody. He has left the Hearthstone team and Blizzard entirely. He's been at Blizzard for 15 years and 10 years working on Hearthstone.
Damn.
And he is gone. He started as a night crew game tester.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. He's moving on. I'm not sure where he's going. He doesn't really outline, but he's like, yeah, I'm done. Peace out. Thanks.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's interesting. Good for him. I could see him going and doing, like, not necessarily creating new games, but being like the face of, like, you know, certain things, like being like a host on a TV show or something like that. Like, I could see him doing something like that, like a game show or something.
He joins Valve and helps Artifact.
Switching teams.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
that would be funny as shit. Actually, if he did that. Yo, guys, I'm out. Anyway, hey Valve. I made Hearthstone, so let's work together.
Let me tell you how you're fucking this up, because you're fucking it up.
You guys like money? You guys want to make money? Well, here we go. Listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's just shocking. He doesn't really say what he's going on to. He might just be retiring straight up. I mean, he's been in the industry for over 20 years.
Yeah, it says he has to do another game. If he feels like it, he feels like it. If not, then fucking who cares?
That's why I can see him just like retiring from the industry and being like he's like an announcer or something for video games and shit. Like I could see him doing that, or doing like a podcast or something, because he's got that like personality.
Yeah.
Like when you watch those Hearthstone videos and stuff, he just has that little like interesting personality and voice and stuff. So I could see him trying his hand at that.
Fuck, even become a goddamn Hearthstone announcer.
Mm-hmm.
A Hearthstone e-caster, yeah.
That's totally.
That's a fucking thing. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And then he hosts his own tournaments out of his own basement. Come on over, guys. Let's
Come to
play
Ben
some
Brody's
Hearthstone.
basement.
Yeah.
Brody's
Hey.
basement.
Brody's basement.
Yes. So good. Sign me up.
Yep.
I'll kickstart that. GOG is modernizing a bit more with their optional launcher. They're now featuring profiles and personalization, much akin to your Steam page. It as well comes along with additional privacy settings, more akin to what Valve just put into Steam, where you can limit how you appear to other players, whether or not they can see what you're playing. But you can set up a whole profile page, much like your Steam page.
Mm-hmm.
GOG is really setting themselves up to be a good Steam competitor.
Meaning how? Like, how they're being similar to Steam?
You know how you have a profile page on Steam?
Right.
Where you can be like, yo, these are my games. These are my great achievements. And you can put your background and stuff. You can do that on GOG now.
Okay.
On GOG Galaxy.
Okay.
And you can have friends lists now. And they're integrating a chat system. So it's basically turning into Steam.
Mm.
GOG is great. As someone who was a beta tester for them when they were called Good Old Games... They've made quite a name for themselves. They made one misstep when they went live. They suddenly just pulled the plug and went down for a weekend and panicked everyone because suddenly you didn't have access to any of your purchases.
Which is funny because that's like the whole point of GOG was to like be DRM free and everything, but it's like, oh shit.
But you couldn't sign into your account to even download them. Like I still had all my executables. I downloaded everything to a separate folder, so I still had them.
Right.
But still, was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was pissed. But they've built up a pretty good little system. I really like GOG.
Mm-hmm.
There's one PAX I went to where they were there, and their entire... Again, this is when they were Good Old Games. Their entire booth was set up like your grandmother's house. There's crocheted stuff everywhere. And they manned it entirely with grandmothers, handing out fresh-baked cookies and big boxes that were labeled GOG with a download code for a random game in them.
Okay.
It was the weirdest fucking booth I had ever seen. It was grannies giving cookies and games. I think I got Dungeon Keeper. It was weird.
Games for grannies. Granny games? I don't know.
Games of Grannies, I think, is what they were going by.
Games of Granny Old.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a great title.
Right.
Let's see here. Grand Theft Auto 5 has announced their premium edition, which is going to hit retail stores. It just includes all of the online bundled DLC along with a bunch of fucking in-game money. And it's retailing at $60, which is still what people pay for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, really.
There are going to be some physical versions of it. I guess. I was under the assumption that all of the online stuff was free. Like, they were all just updates?
Yes? Well, it depends. I think it was more like if they were like packs of stuff, you had to pay for it. But I think the last thing that was free was Heist. I think that was the only thing that was free. But I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I have zero interest in playing Grand Theft Auto Online.
Same.
Yeah.
I tried so many times. I know I mentioned it on this podcast. I will never fucking touch that shit.
Well, the fact that less than a month after it came out, they had to institute rules and penalties for stealing cars in a game called Grand Theft Auto. That should have been a red flag, but
Yep.
sure. In sadder news, Dark Souls Remastered has been pushed back to summer 2018 only on the Switch. The May 25th release date is still holding for Xbox, PS4, PC, but the Switch version has been pushed back now to summer. With that, and I know you're all asking, you're all anxious, you're on the edge of your seat, the Solaire amiibo is also delayed with the Switch version.
Okay.
Rest easy. Solaire will be coming as an amiibo.
God.
In the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me... They were very light on details as to why they delayed it.
Yeah.
But my guess...
I mean, it could have been...
any number of things.
Yeah. I mean, with something like... So here's my thought. Because the original Dark Souls, when it came out, it was running at 30 frames per second, which kind of pissed a lot of people off because they were like, this is a game that requires very quick reaction times and precision. Why would you have something that's fucking 30? And so there were a lot of mods that came out for Dark Souls on PC that would bump it up to 60 without really fucking up the game. Anyway,
but that would still really fuck up the game,
I guess. But
it did. It fucked up weapon degradation. Weapons were degrading at twice the speed.
Right. Anyway, but like, so I wonder if, because the big thing with Dark Souls Remastered was it's going to be 60 frames, because they said that after did they not say that after they announced it? Come on.
Not on the Switch.
Oh,
the
really?
Switch is still 30.
Oh, they did confirm that then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
They did.
Then
And
never mind. Then. Like, that was my only thought, was maybe they were pushing for 60 on Switch, and then they were like, oh, shit,
Still
we might
could
not be able to...
They could be, but they've already announced that it was at 30. It was playable at PAX East, apparently.
Okay.
And specifically, Blighttown was playable at PAX East.
Oh, fuck that place.
And floor reports were it was fine. It was running without an issue.
Okay.
It was a solid 30.
Mm.
My guess is it's networking. It's probably the online.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even with Splatoon, when I jump in, once in a while, I still get some weird hiccups and jitteries on Splatoon. But that's my guess, because
it's such a small fraction, though. But I mean, it was also a big part of why I got through Dark Souls, was because I had people come into my world, into my game, and they would help me with a boss or whatever.
Right. So they were going to do a big network-wide test, too. Like, hey, here's a free weekend to jump in and try out Dark Souls on the Switch for them to test a network load.
Right.
They never announced a date, and that has never been confirmed since that one Switch presentation. So the fact that hasn't come up makes me think they probably found something in the netcode that was really fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So by all means, please delay it. Fix your shit so you don't release a broken fucking game.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
That has me a lot less excited for Dark Souls on Switch now that it's only 30.
Yeah. Well, it's 30, but you can play it on a plane.
Yeah. I guess.
Like, that's the whole thing with Switch. Like, I am more than happy.
It's the same thing with Doom. It's like, yeah, it's 30. Yeah. Sure, I could play it on a plane, but fucking whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, that's the thing. I'm all for ports of these big third-party games that might run a little janky for people who really want that. Like, people who really want Dark Souls on the Switch, like, I'm kind of contemplating it, but I've got them all on PC, so I'm not really going to worry about it.
Yeah.
But for people who either haven't played it or just really want that game to be portable, fucking do it. It's great. Skyrim on Switch is really fucking good. As someone who has Skyrim on Switch, I'm really happy I bought that game on Switch.
Right, but for something like Skyrim, I can understand it being like, sure, go get on fucking Switch. Whereas some games like Dark Souls or Doom that totally rely on the performance of that game.
But Dark Souls doesn't totally rely on the performance of that game, as witnessed with the original release of Dark Souls that still sold like fucking crazy, and people still play it to this day at 30. It's not like it's unplayable. It's not ideal.
Right.
But it's still playable and enjoyable. And that's the whole... You're getting into the whole 30-60 debate now. And it doesn't... At the end of the day, I don't think it fucking matters as long as it's stable. Honestly.
I think with Doom, though, it probably matters. I've heard not the greatest things about that port.
On the Switch?
On the Switch, yeah. I've heard that. It's still Doom, but it's just not a good port. But that game does, like, that is definitely a game that relies on that heavily because it's just so fast-paced.
Yeah. You
like
gotta be moving around as fucking fast as you possibly can.
But Dark Souls, like, I think Dark Souls would be fine. But Doom, I don't think I would ever... Like, I'm interested to actually watch that game play on the Switch, but I wouldn't want to be playing it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
No. And like I said, it's not a version I would want to play, but for people where that's okay, and they want that,
right?
No, I'm all for them porting games, but I do think like there are certain titles that maybe just leave them be. They don't need to be on Switch. But Dark Souls, I think it should be on Switch. But I think like maybe they could do like 60 frames when it's docked. And I don't know if they have the capability. Yeah, and 30 undocked. I don't know if it has the capability of doing something like that though.
Because that was the thing that was my point that I was going to make was maybe they said like, yes, it runs 30 on Switch, like confirm that, but maybe they were trying to push 60 because it ran 60 on Xbox and PS4. So I'm sure maybe they were like, fuck it, let's try it. And maybe they are trying to strive for that.
So when they first announced it, apparently Bandai Namco got out there and said when docked, they're targeting 1080p 30 frames on the Switch.
Okay.
When the original one was 720 30.
Yeah.
So they're upping the resolution while maintaining the same frame rate.
Okay. So it's probably 720 undocked though.
720 30 undocked, yeah. That's most likely. Which is fine because that's the original release specs.
Right.
And even that, I think that's impressive in a fucking tablet. But yeah, I don't think I'm buying that game on the Switch.
Nope.
Yeah. No, I don't think I will either.
But you know what Wally will be buying on the Switch? Night Trap was announced this week.
I'm so glad I waited
for the Switch.
I'm so glad I didn't buy it on PC immediately. I was going to, but then I totally it fell off my radar. But now that it's coming to Switch, that's fucking awesome. Yes, I'm totally gonna buy that.
Yeah,
you should watch Giant Bomb Quick Look from when that remaster first came out. That game does not look fun.
No,
it does not look fun or good by any measure of those two terms.
No, yeah. It's more of I want to treat it as a game where it's like I set it down or dock it or whatever and just be like, watch this fucking thing.
Let's all figure out how the fuck to play this.
Let's experience this fucking game right now.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
I'll fucking play it.
Yeah, Steve's in.
I will definitely play that game. Like Darren said, it does not look fun. It does not look good. But there's something about it that just I want to fucking experience.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like how campy and awful it is. You just want to fucking like. It's one of those things where it's like you just watch a fucking really shitty movie, but if you have the right crowd and you have the right amount of drinks, it could be a fucking blast.
Oh yeah. It's like watching Troll 2 or something, and you're just like, with your buddies, yeah, drinking, fucking joking around. Yeah, that game could be just so much fun.
Exactly.
Or a goddamn nightmare.
That too.
One last bit of news here. There is a teaser trailer out there from Crow Team in which they are teasing a Serious Sam 4.
Sweet.
Is the world ready for another Serious Sam?
Yes.
You know, if it's if it's not as modern day shooter as 3 was, because I felt like 3 at times kind of was, at least with the story that they were going for. Like, it just seemed not so Serious Sam, where it was just like, I don't know, you're being fucking teleported to all these different worlds and you fucking enemies everywhere. Go shoot them up.
Well, isn't that Serious Sam? Isn't that exactly what Serious... It's called Serious Sam 4 Planet Badass.
The teaser trailer is awesome, I think.
It's pretty good.
I really like it.
And I think that's why they've kind of learned of their whole like cinematic, like whatever. I think they're just kind of like, all right, fuck it. We know you're just gonna be silly, so whatever.
Yeah. So look forward to that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. The best thing I ever thought about Serious Sam, especially Serious Sam 3, is its DRM. If Serious Sam 3 detected you were playing a cracked game, it would do nothing for the first, I think, hour and a half. But then it would spawn a invincible scorpion rocket demon that would just hunt you at lightning speed.
Yep.
That you could not kill.
Yep.
So yeah, great. That was it for news from my side, unless I missed something.
No.
Okay, let's move it over to emails. You can email us at utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's utterlyg33k at gmail.com. If you email there, we'll answer them here. We didn't receive anything new there, but we are also on Instagram at utterlygeek. That's utterlyg33k. Steve curates that, and he does a damn fine job of it. He will answer any of your questions.
If you send questions there, we will answer them here. But we didn't get any.
We didn't get any. Sometimes Steve will answer them during the week if he is able to.
Yeah, if we
I
ever
just signed
get a
you up
question.
for that. You're welcome.
Hey, I will.
We've also got a Twitter. We are Utterly Geek at Twitter. That's UTTERLYGEEK. Wally handles that one because he forgets threes and E's.
Mm-hmm.
You can also send your questions there. We get any questions there? Probably not.
No.
You can also watch us live on Mondays. Twitch.tv/CPTWally. Join us in conversation during the show. We'll bring it up if it's pertinent and respectful. Or maybe if it's not respectful. If you're a dick, don't expect to get recognition. Just telling you.
Just play nice. Just play nice.
Play nice.
We're all mean to each other, but
yeah, don't be a dick. Otherwise, we'll answer your questions at this point in the show.
Mm-hmm.
We get any?
No.
Wonderful. This kicks us over to our last section. New releases. We will run down the new releases coming at you over the next week into May. Starting with the PlayStation 4, we have tomorrow, April 24th, The Swords of Ditto coming out on PS4.
Sweet.
We also have Runbow coming out April 24th. Galgun 2 is coming out PS4 April 24th. Galgun 2 is a highly inappropriate on-rail shooter.
Yes.
Which is kind of terrifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man. Killing Floor Incursion coming out May 1st on PS4. That is a VR Killing Floor.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Huh.
That's the first I'm hearing of it, and I'm kind of excited for it. Shifting over to Xbox One, we have Death Road to Canada coming out April 25th. And that's it.
May I interject? We do
Go
have a
for it.
question that just hopped on. That just
Popped on.
That just popped on.
Popped on.
We have a question.
Popped on.
By Slamador through the face 45 says, any new gaming laptops coming out soon? I don't follow gaming laptops, so I have no idea. Steve had a recent one, which he's now done with, so maybe he would know.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if there's ones that are new that are coming out right now, but I know Razer has a pretty sweet laptop that they released not too long ago that they've been promoting. That it's pretty fucking pricey, but it's nice.
Well, it's Razer. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think they have one that's like 2100, and then they have one that's like 3100. I'm not positive on that, but
is it called the Razer Blade?
The Razer Blade, that's the one.
It took them this long to make something called the Razer Blade.
Well, it says the
Razer
new
Blade.
Razer Blade, so it probably did exist.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it existed, but now it's updated. So if you want a gaming laptop, I've heard very good things about them. I've heard they have a good they feel really good. Like they've been compared to the feel of a MacBook, with the clicking and stuff like that. So it has if you need to use the mouse pad, it has a good mouse pad and stuff. So I've heard the speakers are really good. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm looking through Intel Core i7. It can run Halo Wars 2. Oh boy.
Yeah. That's all you need.
All units.
14-inch screen, full HD or 4K UHD. I guess there's probably different models. GeForce GTX 1060 graphics. Compatible for VR. Has 16 gigabyte memory, DDR4. SSD up to 1 terabyte.
Right. I don't really follow. I've never had a gaming laptop. I've only ever done desktops.
Yeah.
Because for me, the portability isn't that important.
I had the Alienware that lasted. I mean, it's still really good. It still plays most games well. I mean, it couldn't play PUBG very well, but it still could play it.
Right.
It couldn't play it very well, but it still could fucking play it. But it was a good laptop, and it was that only ran me I think $850, and it was totally worth it. Because at that point I needed it because I was moving around all the time, so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna move a fucking desktop all over with me. So, yeah, I really liked it. So if you need something and you don't have a lot of money, that would probably be the best bet. One of the smaller Alienware computers.
I would arguably say it's almost the same.
Yeah,
depending on what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, a laptop is going to run you a lot of money, anyways. You can get a good desktop for $800 to $1,000, and a laptop is not going to be as good, but that's what it's going to cost you. It's just the portability of it. That's just how much it is. So, yeah, I mean, if you are going to buy something, buy it an actual PC, like a home computing PC.
Yeah.
Don't buy a laptop, but if you're moving around a lot, it's
I've always
check them out.
I've always thought of gaming laptops to be more of if I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And then I would use it as a means to have Steam on it and then connect it to a TV or whatever. But then the Switch came out and here we are. So now I don't need that fucking thing. I just use the Switch for games to just go and play with people.
I think
Oh,
gaming
hey, you got a
laptops-
dock?
Yep.
I think a lot of that stuff has become more of like for people who edit shit, like for people
Yes.
who are like filming and doing stuff like
Yeah.
that. I
Yep.
think like that's what a lot of those are now used for, and not as much for gaming.
Yep. I was gonna use it
But
for
you can
both.
do it.
Like if I had to do
Bitcoin mining.
work or something or gaming
Mine
on
that
it,
Bitcoin.
then yeah.
Hmm
Fucking
Mine that Bitcoin.
that thing would catch on fire if you were fucking mining on that thing.
Mine Bitcoin. Mine it.
No.
Mine it.
God.
Mine it. Mine your Bitcoin. Yeah. And so I hope we helped you.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Nintendo Switch releases. Runbow and Gal Gun 2 are coming out on the Switch April 24th.
That's a game
Yes.
where I just get and then go somewhere and go, watch this.
It's actually shocking me that that game is coming out on the Switch.
Japan, yo, I guess. I don't know.
Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition is launching April 24th on the Switch. Hello Kitty Cruisers, April 24th on the Switch. I bring this up because that's actually a Wii U port of a very expensive and hard to find Wii U game because they made so few copies. That's the only reason. It's not a quality, it's just a rarity thing.
Mhm.
South Park The Fractured Butthole, April 24th on the Switch.
Oh, sweet.
Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion comes out April 24th on the Switch, which has been described as Wind Waker meets Adventure Time, which made me go, what? Curious to see what that is. Death Road to Canada, April 25th on the Switch. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy, April 26th on the Switch. And I think that's it for notable releases over the next week on the Switch. PC did not see a ton. We have Frostpunk coming out April 24th. We have Battletech coming out April 24th. We have The Swords of Ditto April 24th on the PC. This has all been on the PC. And I think that's it for notable releases on the PC. Finally, Cosmic Star Heroine comes out April 24th on the PlayStation Vita.
Wow.
The PlayStation
Wow.
Vita.
Fucking what?
Cosmic Star Heroine on the Vita. There's a Vita release this week. And also Devious Dungeon and Pick-a-Pix Color. Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly, April 27th on the Vita.
Wow.
Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly. That's such a JRPG name. Anyway, it's a visual novel.
Mm.
I think that'll do it. I've got nothing else to talk about news-wise. We do have some housekeeping. I need to take a brief hiatus from the show. I'm going to be gone for at least 2 weeks. Life things are happening, which means I have to hand this over to you two knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Please don't burn it down.
God of War news, baby! Woo!
Yeah. God of War all the time.
Please don't burn it down. All I ask. I don't want a steaming pile of a website when I get back. Well, thank you for joining us. They will see you next week. I will see you in a bit longer. Meantime, have fun
Yeah. Go play God of War!
playing games.
Yeah.
Woo!
Boy.
Boy!